Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another episode of Chai with Bhai. Give salam, lads.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
You guys always have to be extra.
So today's episode, inshallah, is going to be about recent events that have been occurring in and around London, and I'm sure across the rest of the country, if not the rest of the world, rather. Let's get straight into it. So recently, I think there've been about 45 killings, somewhere along those lines.
50.
50,
yeah.
50, yeah?
Yeah, just 52 I had now.
So far this year, in 2018, and that's mainly, a lot of it is youngsters involved in stabbings, shootings, etc.
And London alone, I think it's 30 plus.
We've surpassed New York now.
Yeah, we've gone past New York. So New York used to have the highest.
Past it now, yeah.
And now London has gone past New York.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So New York's active like that.
Oh, since the beginning.
No, we have more killings than New York.
And New York just recently halved their killings.
And you know why that's mad? It's because them man have got like laws, like like gun laws where they can go grab a gun, self-defense, Second Amendment, all that. We don't even have that. It's harder to get weapons to kill a person. So it will make sense if their murder rate was higher. I was bigger than them.
And the sad thing is,
but statistically, some off the books.
That's what's written on the
that's what's
we're just going by stats in it. We're just going by stats that have been presented to us. But the saddest thing is the age of the people who are dying, the age of the people who are killed. And a lot of them in the very, very young years. And for a long time, it's not like this is something new. Killing, stabbing, shootings, it's been happening all the time, But recently, because it's been happening more often, I think it's hit closer to home for a lot of people. So we thought we'd just do a channel about on this issue and try and work out, number one, why is it that this recent pandemic has been occurring? What are the root causes of this? Number two, moving forward, how can we prevent future things from happening again? And so on and so forth. So first of all, who wants to start off with some of the root causes of why so many youngsters are getting involved in this whole, sometimes it's gang life, sometimes it's just revenge killings or whatever it is. Does anyone want to start? I'll start. I'll mention one personally. In my personal experience, I mean, it's mad because I'm sure you'll agree. Like back in my days, and that wasn't too long ago, a stabbing was a big thing. To hear about someone getting stabbed was a very, very big thing. And now, it's like everyone's carrying a knife. Carrying a knife and using a knife is no longer a big thing anymore. Now it's about guns. Who's got a gun? Who's shooting? And you'd be surprised. I guarantee you, most of us walk past someone, if not more than one person, at least once a week, who's carrying a gun. Yeah. No, forget something. A gun. I'm talking about a gun. That's how common guns have become now. And one of the main reasons for this is, personally, I believe, is music. The music in this day and age that a lot of the youth listen to. And there's many artists out there. I don't need to name them, rappers and UK grime artists and even from the USA and stuff. And all they ever talk about and all they ever glamorize is the exact same thing: shootings, killings. I've killed 7 men. I'm doing time for this, etc., etc., etc. And they make it seem glamorous. They make it seem like it's a milestone that you should achieve. That if you do this, you become a big man now. Does anyone else want to comment on that, on the issue of music?
Alhamdulillah, the issue of music, it's not something we should just bypass here. The issue of music is big because it's not just music. Yeah, remember the Prophet ﷺ in the hadith of Bukhari, when he mentioned that a time will come when people try to make music halal. He mentioned it was not just music they were going to try and make halal. They were going to try and make music halal. They were going to try and make fornication halal. They were going to try and make intoxicants, khamr, alcohol halal, and also men wearing silk, which is a feminine thing. Yeah. And these people are going to be punished by a mountain being placed on top of them and being deformed into pigs and monkeys. The mad thing here is that, look, the Prophet ﷺ made a connection between these sins. Music, fornication, intoxicants. So that's not just alcohol, that's drugs and all that, right? And also men wearing silk, which is basic femininity, right? Basically men moving like that. The point here is that there's a link between these, akhi. So when you have music, right? Music leads to this sexual promiscuity. And the reason why I'm trying to mention this is because the Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا لَمْ تَسْتَحِي فَاصْنَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. If you do not have any shyness in you, then go and do whatever it is that you want. Like I said this many times to the youngers when I speak to them, I say, would you rather your mum catch you watching pornography, or would you rather her catch you stealing? Even though both are major sins, and both in the Sharia they have a had, right? They have a particular consequence to how they dealt with, right? But I'm saying, which one would you rather your mum or the people in the ends catch you? watching pornography or stealing. They will always say, I'd rather them catch me stealing than watching pornography. So pornography, I can't say if that's what I had. Sorry, fornication, zina, yeah? So I'm saying, so which one? They would say, I'd rather them catch me stealing an item. Why? Because of shyness. But like if you can get to the point where your sexual promiscuity has reached to the point where, you know, your mum knows you're having sex, you know, you're pregnant, your mum knows you had an abortion, or people know, you're chatting to people, yeah, I slept with him and this, that. You're starting to let people know about this filthy sin. Maybe not just your mum, but your community, your friends, you're kind of boasting about it, you know. Guys are on Instagram, they're liking pictures of porn stars and this, that, you know, all this madness. Then you're losing shyness. So when you get to that level where you're doing the filthiest act in the people's eyes, not the filthiest act necessarily because shirk is worse, but it's the filthiest act that you would not want to get caught doing. But if you can do that like it's happy days, then anything else is easy. Murder is easy. Killing is easy. This is easy. Disrespecting your parents is easy. That's what the Prophet said. If you lose shyness, فَاسْنَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. Do whatever the hell it is. Do whatever you want. You're gonna. There's nothing that's gonna hold you back. So killing is easy now from that angle. And with music, it led to promiscuity, and it did that. That makes sense. Not just that, intoxicants. I remember I was chatting to my brother who came over from North America, and he was telling us about all the killings that they have up in the States and Canada, and he was telling me some mad things. I was like, hey, how's this all happening, bro? Like people are just, that man's murdering his best friend like his happy days. He's saying they're all getting high and they're all getting drunk. So that's that people, they smoke weed, they drink alcohol, they all this. And then now you've got cocked off a disaster. The music is telling you murder, right? The zina has got you to a point where your heart is dead. It doesn't care. I'll do whatever, so no one can tell me nothing. And the alcohol just makes you even more numb. So then, that's a cocktail for disaster, fam. And these are all reasons why that are contributing towards that. And that's why I say people think music. Like, remember, music doesn't stay at one place. Remember, shaitan. Allah didn't say don't follow shaitan. He said وَلَا تَتَّبِعُ خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Don't follow the footsteps of shaitan. So shaitan's not going to come and make tracks about sleep with this girl, do that to this girl, kill this guy. He's not going to do that. First he's going to talk. He's just going to bring you normal music, and then the music is going to get deeper and deeper, and to the point where now he's telling you exactly what it is. So people are out there like, oh, we're just talking about this music, that music. No, like it's gonna take you down a certain road, man.
Stress. What your
you
thoughts
know,
on that?
he mentioned something important about the heart, that the heart is just becoming so dead. And this is why it's so important that a lot of us we don't realise how important our hearts really are, in terms of not just pumping blood in our body and whatnot, but spiritually. And the way the heart has an effect on your body and your actions and everything that you do in your day-to-day lives. That's why sometimes I think people, they spend so long and so much effort working on their physical appearance, working on their build and all of this, but when it comes to actually nurturing their heart and actually looking after their heart, they kind of forget about it. Because you have to understand that, and there's a hadith on it, that whatever the eyes or the eyes and the ears are the gateway to the heart. Okay, so if you're looking at things now which are haram, and most of these music nowadays has music videos to it. So you got guys, they're in ballies, they've got actual knives on them, showing this, that, on this block, going to territories and whatnot. And it's not even just music, even TV shows, games, all of these sort of things have a big effect. And you're looking at all these things, now your heart's getting affected. You're listening to all these filthy things that are going on, not just killing, but now you got guys talking about girls in certain ways and money and cars. And now all of these things are affecting your heart. They're showing your heart like, okay, look, this is kind of flashy, this is kind of cool. And now your heart's becoming affected because of what you're seeing and what you're hearing. Now, if you're not going to protect your heart from these things, then you're going to fall into these things, because we're all weak. We're prone to fall into things which, have sort of glamorous things on it. But that's why we protect ourselves from falling into these things. That's why we lower our gaze. That's why we keep our ears away from haram things. But unfortunately, we've become people who we don't really care about our heart and nurturing our hearts and purifying our hearts. And that's one of the main reasons as well, that we've become so heedless. We don't really care. Honestly, like, you walk down the street and a brother is going to you, Akhi, why do I have to lower my gaze? Like, it's nothing. But he doesn't understand. Every time he's looking at a girl, it's building, and then things just happen. Every time he's seeing a guy, he's wearing a tracksuit, he's bellied up, this, that, he's thinking, oh yeah, that looks cool. He's got bare things around him. He's got a car. And all of these things, why? Because you didn't lower your gaze. You wasn't protecting yourself. You wasn't keeping it moving. You wanted to always listen to what other men have to say and whatnot. And that all leads back to damaging the heart.
Of course. Saad, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, okay, well, it's the same issue. What Strides is saying as well. Well, the heart is a big issue. These people, they're not taking care of their heart in the first place, and it's not really like obviously the killing is taking place amongst the youngsters, and it's not really foremost up to them in terms of purifying their hearts. It really goes back to the parents, because it's the parents that didn't do tarbiyah. They didn't nurture the kids upon a right methodology, a right way of bringing them up in accordance to Islam. You know, with a lot of the times you find that a lot of these houses where kids are up to these kind of things, you find the parents are messed up. Even the parents, single parents, or the parents, one of them is doing drugs, or they're up to no good. They've been to prison or something like that.
And not just necessarily income. Yeah. Not just necessarily. It's not just income. It's not necessarily bad for a house like that, man. Because wallahi, man, I've been in situations where there's one situation that even we were in, yeah, where there was some youngers run up in a masjid to stab another brother in a masjid.
While the lecture was going on.
While the lecture, they sat through the lecture. Guled was giving a lecture. He was talking about this stuff, but they were high out of their mind. At the end of the lecture, they came to stab and kill a brother in the masjid. Later on, I found out that one of them kids, his dad is a committee member in the masjid.
Oh, okay.
He's a committee member in the masjid. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, you know, you're not necessarily coming from a broken home, but what the hell is wrong with you, man? How the hell did you become committee member in the masjid? Now, I'm not saying, of course, like, look, I'm not saying that, oh, you know, it's connected, that because you're righteous, your son has to be righteous. I'm not saying that. Because look at Nuh alayhi salam, look at his son. But I'm saying this is a common trend. We see these guys, they spend their whole time in the community, not spending no time in their own families. Allah said, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Oh, you who believe, save yourself and your family from the hellfire. How are you trying to save someone else who ain't saved your own family? That's why Imam Ali ibn Abd al-Salam, he's got a book called Al-Qawa'id al-Sharia or Al-Qawa'id. And in there he mentions, yeah, that one of the rights that the society has upon a parent is that he raises his child right. Why? Because that child, if you don't raise your child right as a dad and a mum, he's gonna come and rob from me. He's gonna kill my child. He's gonna create problems in my community. He's gonna become a bad friend to my son. So we as a community have a right over these parents.
That's interesting you mentioned that, because I was going to speak to my uncle about this last night, and he's like in his 60s or something like that. Now he's mashallah quite old. And you mentioned that obviously he's talking about back in his day. He was like, if you saw anyone selling drugs or on road and they were literally crackheads. In the sense where it was literally the people who were desperate for money, people who had nothing else going for them. You know, like it was just like it was seen as like quite scummy to be doing that kind of stuff. Whereas nowadays it's become cool. Something which is cool. You see on social media, people see all these gangsters flashing flashy cars and money and showing that they're going on holiday and they're doing tours and this and that, and everyone's like, you know what, I want to be like that. What do they do? Okay, what, they used to sell drugs, they used to do this, they used to do this. It's become a thing now where it's become something popular. It's become something which like people want to aspire to be like, people want to do. Like people want to be like that. Whereas back in the days, you were seeing something like, wow, like,
scummy, right?
Is that what you're doing? Like, what are you doing with your life? Now it's like, no, that's what I want to do. That's why it's true. Nowadays, you see so many people, you think you came from a good family. Your family home, mashallah, your family, your parents are very good people, this and that. Like, you're well off, mashallah. What's the need for you to be out here selling drugs? You don't need money. You got the newest trainers. It's not from your drug money.
That's these Asian boys.
It's from your parents' money.
That's these Asian boys, okay, man. Well, that's what you're describing now is the Asian boys. Well, they make me the most maddest, man. Right? You come from a good family household. Of course, you had maybe a little Punjabi dad that was slapping you around here and there. Wrong. But the point is that you come from a household, fam. Every day you're coming home, your mum's giving you curry, fam. Every day. And out on the streets you're acting like a bad man. Well, like, these guys are not real. And it's what made them feel like that. Well, life's the music. Wallah, I'm telling you now, I was one of those Asian boys. When you're there and you're listening to some mad music, akhi, you're thinking, I'm ready to go kill a guy.
That's true. Music will control your emotions in a way where, like, I remember this joke back in the days on social media where like there's this one rap artist and he used to make like love songs and this and that whatnot, and people used to say, like, if you listen to his songs, even if you've never been in a relationship before, you'll be missing your ex. Even though you've never had an ex before, but because the song is so emotional, you'll be listening to it, you start crying and thinking, right, like, I miss her, man. And you're thinking, well, who am I missing? Like, not that it's ever happened to me, I'm just saying, like, no, it's a joke on social media.
But even on top of that, one thing is not just the music, but some people honestly don't have aspiration in life. I'll tell you this now, some people are so bored they let time just fly, and they need time to fly. That's what they want. So they go out on the streets. Like just the other day, I'm driving past Tottenham, and outside betting shops, you're just seeing guys, they're just chilling. It's at 10 p.m. in the night. Like, brother, go home. You have a nice house to go to. You're just out here chilling, doing nothing. Do you understand? Like some people are so bored with their lives.
That's true.
Like they don't want to go. Like honestly, people just want shortcuts in life. That's what it is. They see this stuff and they're thinking, oh yeah, this is quick money, this, that. This quick money, first of all, it doesn't give you discipline. How can you be, and especially men, if you don't have discipline in your life to be organized and to be able to work your way up and do things with your life, then you're not a man. You're just a waste man. That's what it is. Because honestly, guys are just out there trying to get quick money, and then when that quick money goes, again, and honestly, you don't have no discipline or structure to your life. You're just trying to get quick stuff, and that's it. Wallahi, if you don't have discipline in your life, you're going to end up at a stage where you're going to be homeless and a bum. Honestly, yeah, I know guys who literally, subhanAllah, man.
Good to that.
I mean, brothers, I mentioned emphasis on music, and I agree that it's very like one of the key pillars as well. But I think there's an underlying something that comes before that is ignorance. The person being ignorant, in the sense of, because there's something Ibn al-Qayyim in his Dawa, Illnesses and Cures, his book, about the questioner who asked, and he said basically, I'm involved in a sin, and if I continue, it will destroy my dunya and the hereafter. And he asked for him for advice, and he wrote a book for him. The first thing he starts with, he brings the hadith that Allah has not sent down an illness except that He sent down a cure for it, yeah? And whoever knows it, and whoever's ignorant is ignorant of it. Then the next thing he moves on to is he brings the stories of the hadith of the companions when they were on the journey, and there was that companion who had an injury on his head, and then from that basically he needed to do ghusl, so he asked his other companions
The bath.
yeah, to purify himself. And then he asked the companions, is there an excuse for me, a means, because he's someone injured.
So like, do I have to have a shower?
Yeah, do I have to have a shower with water? Then they said, you're someone who's able, so you have to. So he took it, and then when he took the shower or the bath or whatever it was, he died. When the Prophet heard about it and they came back and told the Prophet what happened, the Prophet got angry at them, and he told them, he said, firstly the Prophet said to them, you killed him, may Allah kill you. But that's not a dua of inkar, it's not. Because Allah will kill all of us eventually, meaning Allah will be the one to take our souls. From that angle. And then the Prophet told them, why didn't you ask? For very really the cure to ignorance is what? Asking. So Ibn al-Qayyim here points that ignorance is an illness. And he starts off with that. Now if the person doesn't know what he's doing is a sin, or how grave of what he's involved in, or how deep it can get, then the person just going to be going in, and all of this is just like, if we see now, is just the presence of ignorance as time goes on. When ignorance is spread, then the most evil comes around, in terms of sins, in terms of innovation, in terms of, it's like because who's there to say, brother, that's wrong? If he does say it's wrong, what can he say based on what knowledge can the person say is wrong?
Yeah, the thing is, most of these
you
guys,
you mean ignorance of the religion, right?
Ignorance of the religion. Like the brother that some people don't know, that person doesn't know how great killing someone is. The person probably doesn't know how, it's one of the major sins, as you mentioned. He doesn't know if there's major or minor sins. What is it?
The matter things, look, shirk is the greatest sin.
Yeah.
Then after that is murder.
Yeah.
And you know what's mad is that, not mad, but you know what's powerful is that Allah never talked about any other sin in the Quran like He talked about murder.
Yeah.
Murder and believer. What did Allah say? Allah said that this person, adabuhu jahannam, that he will be sent to the hellfire. The one who kills a believer, his punishment will be the hellfire. Allah will be angry with him. Allah will curse him. He will stay in there for eternity. And then on top of that, Allah said Allah has prepared for him adab and alima, a mighty punishment. On top of all that, Allah said prepared him 5 things Allah mentioned about this punishment. It is not normal. And the person will just kill someone. And you know what's mad is sometimes you might not even kill a person. Yeah? But you intended to kill him. But then you didn't kill him for whatever reason. Not because you got scared and you said, I'm not going to kill him for the sake of Allah. Yeah. But you couldn't kill him because, your
gun jammed or something.
Your gun jammed, or you were scared of what his man might do to you, but in your heart you're like, I wish I could kill him. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. A person is judged in accordance to their intentions. وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى. And you'll be given a reward based on your intention. So you intended to kill him, you'll still be one from them.
You know, even another, just to tackle this from another point of view as well, and it comes back to the music as well, that a lot of these men, and I know a lot of men who are on the road, and they're on this lifestyle, a lot of these guys have jinns in them, and they're possessed. A lot of them are possessed, and they have jinns. One of my boys, yeah.
I'm sorry, before you
go. Yeah, no, go on.
Because I'm really trying to make this link here now, and people to understand. Yeah. What's one of the things that cause them to be possessed?
Music. That's what I mentioned.
Allah says this, man istata'ta minhum bisawtik.
Exactly.
Allah says to shaitan in the Quran, go and basically, affect whoever it is that you want with your voice. Go and terrorize, go and belittle and whoever it is that you want with your voice. What's the voice of shaitan?
Music.
The music. The Sahaba explained it like this.
And intoxication as well, right?
And again, intoxication.
Listen to music while intoxicated. You're more likely to be possessed.
All has a link.
It's the adhan. Music is the adhan of shaitan.
Exactly.
The same way the believers come running when you do the adhan to pray. When you play music, the shayateen, the evil devils and demons come running.
Exactly.
That's one of the reasons why they get possessed.
Because one guy I know, he was caught with weapons. Okay, and then I asked him, look, you're from a good house. You're calm. You have all of this stuff going for you. You got good grades in your GCSEs. This that. Why are you going out? And you don't even have beef like that. Why are you going out with weapons, just looking for guys to hurt? Because I don't know. One day I just wake up and I feel like hurting someone. I said that's not normal. Honestly, you most of these guys are possessed. Like even if you look at the way they are, like you talk to them on a level, they understand what you're talking about, and then the next moment their head just switches. It's like that's not normal, brother. Like you're normal one time, and then the next time, it's like most of these road guys, like, because I'm from South London, so I grew up around a lot of guys who were just mental. These guys in school are the nicest people you ever meet.
Yeah, wallah, some of them are so nice.
Like some of them are the nicest people you ever meet. In school, they're friends with each other. Like we used to have guys who were from Peckham and Brixton in the same school. In school they're all friends, this, that. The next moment it's like it switches up and they're just crazy. And I'm thinking that's not normal. And that's the music affecting you, jinn possession coming through that. All of these things are all linked, and that's why people really need to take seriously what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited, because Allah prohibited it for a reason. And if you keep taking the religion as a joke and you don't want to follow your deen and you don't want to stay away from that which has been made haram, look, you're going to be made to look like an idiot. Honestly, these guys are idiots. If you look at them, you're thinking, what are you doing? Like you have I've seen guys who they've got places into nice universities, they've got money, everything. This guy's in jail now. For what? Guys from a guy looked at me in a certain way. Brother,
it's pride, isn't it? It's
you know what the sad thing is? There's so many issues. Like, even this video is stressing me because you know it's sad, isn't it? Wallahi, you know when you deal with these brothers on the road, yeah, there's not one issue. You can't even just say it's music. There's an ego comes into it.
Too many things.
There's bad companionship that come into it.
Trying to impress girls.
Role models, women. Like, wallahi, man, there's so it's so much, man. Like money, dunya, you understand? And but the greatest thing is the lack of tawheed, lack of knowing Allah is watching.
All this comes back to the two foundations for any sin is ignorance and desires. Everything comes back to that. And the opposite of ignorance is knowledge, and the opposite of your desires is patience. And with these two characteristics, the person will become imam, as Allah mentioned in the Quran, that when they came with patience and when they came with certainty, then Allah made them imams, made them leaders. So these people who are looking for like this, I want to be something, with these two characters, you can become something. As you mentioned, if the person, like you said, looking for the dunya, with these two characteristics, he will get the dunya and the hereafter. If the person is looking for a woman, with these two characteristics, he'll get a woman. If the person is looking for money, income, with these two characteristics, makhraja. And makhraja is left unrestricted from anything.
Meaning whoever fears Allah, Allah will find a way for him to get whatever he wants.
Makhraja from ignorance to knowledge. Makhraja from poverty
makhraja means to
exit. Everything. So these two, it's like it's being covered, and these things are made to look good. Because Allah tells us as much as the evil spreads and and you become amazed with it, it still doesn't make it allowed, and because it has become spread, and it has been made to drop out of school something cool and amazing. I don't have no education, but yeah, I'm on the street, bro. You're homeless.
You're a bum.
Like you don't.
What are you gonna do, man? I used to know these guys. Yeah, they literally
time.
Is it time?
No, it's calm. Carry on.
And literally, you're dropping out of school, but outside of school, you're seeing him waiting there on his pedal bike. He's there. He's just chilling.
Yeah. Always on a pedal bike. Always on a pedal bike. Always on a
Bro,
pedal
you dropped
bike.
out of school, say at home, like, he's out on the streets like a bum.
What's funny
That's
is
it.
when you used to talk to these people as well, there used to be a time that they could have hope, even though they shouldn't. They could have hope. You know, I'll live to 60 in Refhen. They've realised now, and it's whether you like it or not, it's in your face, and you're not even going to reach 20. Forget 60. You're not reaching 20, or you're not even reaching 25. They used to say that America, like black people, whatnot, it's rare if I make it 25. We're experiencing the same thing.
It's funny because I was reading the statistics of the 52 people who got killed since January. I think about 80% of them all less than younger than the age of 20, and a few of them past 20, like 21. 20, the odd one 68.
So that's what you was leaning on. You ain't even get to 60, bro.
That should be a reminder for us.
That's the saddest thing, yeah. They're all little kids, fam.
Yeah.
You know, one of the reasons why we obviously decided to do this channel as well, is just what I mentioned, because obviously, thing is, we hear about this sort of stuff on the news all the time. We hear about it, shootings, killings happening all the time, but it never really hits you until it's someone you know, or it's someone you know in your local community and stuff. And recently, you know, there was a shooting in Walthamstow. One of my friends, it was his younger brother. He's 16 years old, and he got shot in the face. Now, you know, right now, you know, police they're still doing an investigation. They're not sure, you know, why it happened, how it happened, etc. Obviously, this you know, done the autopsy and all that stuff that they need to do before they can issue a death certificate. But like, it's really hit hard on the whole community. You know, everyone's realised. You know, we went around his house and mashallah, there was a lot of people there, from roadmen to non-roadmen to uncles. To, you know, like the whole house was packed. But I'll never forget his brother, man. It was just, wallahi, it was just so, like, that's a family torn apart now. You know, he was telling us, well, like, you know,
Is he dead?
Yeah, he died. He was in hospital. I mean, well, the fact that he was alive was a big thing.
I mentioned it, 16-year-old from Walthamstow.
Yeah. 16 years old, man. He was, you know, in year 11. He hadn't gone to college yet. GCSEs, man. We probably would have had them in a couple of weeks. And you know, like his brother, that night we went to see him, and he was in shock. He was just telling us, you know, like, you know, and it was so sad, honestly, man. He was just like, my brother, man, like, you know, they shot him in the face. Like, he was like, you know, he's been mom's favourite child. You know, I used to buy him trainers to try and keep him, you know, inside. I bought him, you know, games and stuff just so he would stay home. And, you know, it's funny because obviously, alhamdulillah, you know, we're going on an Umrah trip. And the same day he got shot, 5 hours before he got shot, I said in the group chat, I said, bro, I'm going Umrah. If there's anything you want me to do dua for, let me know. And he said, make dua for my brother. And I said, what happened to him? He goes, oh, he's on road. Make dua for him, and Allah things.
5 hours later.
5 hours later, he got shot in the face. And then 12 hours after that, roughly, like, he passed away. But I'm saying, the fact that the first thing that came to his mind, he didn't say, yeah, make dua, get a wife, make dua, get money. He didn't say, make dua, that, you know, this. He said, make dua for my younger brother, man. And honestly, like, I don't know what to even say to him, man. When I could go up to him and just hug him and say, yo, I'm so sorry what happened. How can you console someone who's just had their younger brother, you know, just taken away from them, man? Wallahi, it's proper sad, man. And especially because it's Muslims, it just makes it even harder, innit? And you're thinking, imagine what that mum's going through now. And, you know, you on road, you know, you don't realise it, but at the end of the day, if you don't care about yourself and your own life, at least think about your family, innit?
That's what I'm saying.
At least think about your family. And at the end of the day, if something happens to you, you might think, oh, you know what, so what, man, like, ride or die, or, you know, YOLO, whatever the hell you're going to be thinking. What about your mum, innit? What about your dad? What about your siblings, innit? What about them? You know, what are you going to leave them with? You know, like...
You know what the sad thing is, yeah? Well, I'm sorry to bring it back to this music issue, but I really want to drive. But you know what the sad thing is? A lot of these guys, yeah, who end up killing or getting killed, who are actually living the street life, got influenced by actors in the music scene. Like, for you to live a life where you end up getting shot, or for you to live a life where you end up actually murdering or killing someone, the music influenced you, and the one who influenced you was an actor. He wasn't even living that life himself. Wallahi, he wasn't living that life himself. Look at this guy, yeah? Recently you got this guy called...
Did you mention his name?
Yeah, I mentioned his name. They all know him, innit?
I didn't know him.
We can bleep his name out. We got this guy that come out, yeah? Actually, this guy, I saw an interview of his. He goes, yeah, on an interview, he goes... The guy said to him, listen, if you're living, he keeps calling out people in the music industry, he keeps doing mad things, he keeps like hyping to people, yeah? And the guy says to him, listen, he goes, if you're gonna say things like this, then you better be ready to kill or be killed. And he says with the biggest confidence, he goes, and I'm ready to kill or be killed. And wallahi, he's not. Like, this guy, look at him, he looks like a clown.
No,
I'm saying his hair, like this guy's got rainbow hair, rainbow teeth. I'm asking you, like, what's rainbow? What's that a flag for? We don't have to mention it. We know what it's a flag for, right? And he's out there pushing like he's a gangster. I'm saying he's going to places and he's running away, and now it's starting to come out that, you know, had a show and he didn't show up because he was scared for his life or whatever have you. But he's out there. I remember speaking to some youngers in the masjid, and they're telling me, "Oh, this guy's on it, you know. This guy's on it, fam." And wallahi, they're telling me this guy's mad, you know. You know, he's out there doing this thing, fam.
Yes,
and he's not even in the UK. Do you understand? I'm showing you, wallahi, these people talk role models. People, I'm saying at least, I'm not saying it's good, but at least if the guy was a role model, a real gangster, wallahi, they're all fake. Wallahi, it's like the same way. Not to bait ourselves out, but you all think we're righteous, innit? That's how it is, innit? You all think, wallahi, it's really, it's an act. Now, obviously, what you're going to see, I'm not saying it's nifaq, not hypocrisy, not intentional, but obviously what you see from us is our best possible self. When we come, because we're Islamic, right, we're religious figures, when we come on camera, we're going to show you our best possible self. I'm not going to have a camera follow me when I make all my mistakes, you understand? Same with them guys, they're not trying to be religious, they're trying to be street. Like, they're trying to show you that we're the best at sinning. We're the best at killing, drinking, sleeping with girls. So someone, they don't even live that life. And you are getting inspired. You're losing your life in taking the life of a next man. And you were inspired by a guy who never even lived that life.
And one of the saddest things as well is that a lot of the times, you know, especially, you know, you said from Saad that it was most of the people under 20, right? And I guarantee you most of them, they're workers for an older. That older's relaxing, chilling at home. He's got workers running his line. He's got workers, you know, like when his, you know, drug line rings, the workers are the ones with the drugs on them. The workers are the ones with the weapons on them. The workers are the ones, they're being used. And they don't realise it. They think, well, no, look, he shows me love. He gives me money. He's got my back if anything happens to me, this and that. Like, he's someone, you know, like, he's my friend. He's not your friend. He's using you. He does not care about you at all. If you get shot, he'll get another younger to take your place quickly. He does not care. Why are you holding his gun for him? Why doesn't he hold it himself? Why is he making you hold his drugs for him? He's sitting on the street corner. He's got nothing on him.
100%.
When the police come,
100%.
Who they gonna nab? You or him?
Exactly.
You. And you don't realise it, and you think, yeah, no, he's my OG and this and that, and yeah, he's my older, and yeah, I'm young G. Bruv, like, you're being used. You're miskeen. Honestly, that's the reality, you know. And
you know, just one thing, yeah. I remember Ustad, he said something to us once, yeah. He goes, if you look at the people as time has gone on, their IQ levels have just dropped so much. Like, people's aql, their intelligence has just gone. Things that you just look at and you actually observe. Like, look how dumb you are. Like, honestly, this, like, just coming back to all these points we're mentioning, you're just a send-out. You're literally a send-out, and you can't even see it for your own eyes. Everything you're doing is so stupid, and it's leading towards stupid paths, and you just can't see it. Because people's IQ has just dropped so much. People don't want to think for themselves. And this all goes back to
she's flipped
how
they took the concept, you know, Ibn Abbas, where he said, may Allah have mercy on him, where he said, I was humiliated as a student and I became honored as a teacher. These man think, I'm gonna be humiliated now. There's gonna be a point where I'm gonna be honored. Wallahi, you're gonna be humiliated now.
You're gonna be
all the men who were honored on road, yeah. Well, like, what was that guy, Pablo Escobar? All these guys. How did they all die eventually?
They were never honored. But
no. I'm saying from when you get community stripes, in the end they all got killed or still end up in jail. It's short-lived. Do you understand? And if I could just, you know, if you guys want to mention points after this, but this is the last thing I want to say, because I feel like for me there's nothing to say after this, and it's just echoing of what Guled said, yeah, the issue of ignorance, and that's really what you were just echoing now, is that wallahi it'll come back down to ignorance. The Prophet Ali Sallam, he mentioned, yeah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he doesn't take knowledge away. Knowledge of Allah, knowledge of the day of judgment. Because remember, if you really had this knowledge that you're going to stand before Allah one day, that you're going to be questioning your grave, the angel of death is going to come on you, and you believed it with certainty, you really had this ilm of the religion, yeah, you wouldn't be doing what you do. The knowledge is gone, right? So how did it go? The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he doesn't take it out of your chest. It's not like you have knowledge one day and Allah erases it from you. No. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he takes it biqabdil ulama. the scholars around you, the role models of knowledge, and people who are good role models around you, who are teaching and educating you and reminding you of Allah, Allah causes them to die. They die as time goes on. They're less in number. Until no one remains, there's not even one scholar. Who remains? Ignorant people. Just the ignorant people remain. People ask them questions. They give them answers based on their own opinions. They misguide themselves, the one answering the question, and they misguide the ones who are listening. And wallahi, if you look at this is so true. I'm saying back in the days, forget the kuffar, forget Muslims, look at the kuffar. The role models that they used to have 50, 60 years ago, even though they were kuffar, were all knowledgeable people. It would be the scientists, the academics, the researchers. They're not every kid wanted to be Einstein, every kid wanted to be Francis Bacon, yeah? And now, I'm saying, you understand the point, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying every kid Isaac Newton. Yeah, I want to have that chair in Cambridge. You know, everyone's like, yeah, I want to get into Cambridge. I want to
go to the moon.
Yeah, I want to go to the moon.
Stuff
Yeah, I want to be president. Yeah, even Hukum Bighain Manzala. Like the point is, he wants to have big jobs. Do you understand? Nowadays, it's not like that.
Doctor.
Yeah, doctor. Do you understand? Nowadays, role models are not these people. Their role models are who? Akhi, the Prophet said, ignorant people remain. Akhi, look at this girl. She's the biggest musician in America right now.
Bleep that.
I promise you, they all know her.
Wallah, I don't know.
I'm gonna mention her name.
I could just mention some people. Just be like,
Okay.
One of them.
This chick who her name was just bleeped. This woman, yeah. She's the biggest artist in America. The biggest artist. She's big. Female artist. She's the biggest female artist.
Wait, bleep this shit, but bigger than Rihanna and
bigger than all of them. She's the biggest. The biggest.
Currently.
Never heard of her.
She's currently the biggest.
She's recent.
When he
But
says
it's been a
biggest,
year.
she's
Oh,
trending.
okay.
She's trending.
No, she's been over a year. She's been around for over a year.
That explains.
She's big. Pay attention. She's an ex-stripper. And you got hijabi girls on Instagram taking her Instagram clips and sending them around. I'm like, your role model is a hoe. She's an ex-stripper. And wallahi, not just that. I never saw someone so dumb. Sometimes I put on an interview, I minimize the screen, I don't watch her face, I just listen to the audio. This girl, wallahi, I believe she's the dumbest human on the face of the planet. She's the most stupid creature on the face of the planet. There's no one, I never came across someone dumber than her. What are the kind of things she says?
I don't know, but there's more of her in the industry that you haven't probably seen.
I know. I'm saying she's dumb. Wallah, she says the most. Wallah, she's so dumb. Her and the other guy that I mentioned earlier, one with the rainbow hair, them two are running the industry. You have the guy with the rainbow hair is telling you what in this interview. He says, "Look at me, I look so stupid," and you're following him.
Yeah,
I'm saying is these are role models, and you took ignorant people as role models. What you now need to do is you need to take knowledgeable people as role models. The greatest role model for you is the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba. And then who? The Salaf. And then who? Those who are teaching you what the Sahaba and the Prophet was upon. Wallahi, that's what it comes down to. Is that you went for ignorant people, man.
So just as we finish up, I just wanted to say, please, inshallah, to everyone watching and, to you guys as well, please make dua for the Prophet that passed away. And also any other Muslim that's been killed recently and stuff like that, may Allah have mercy on them, may Allah forgive them for their sins, may Allah, protect them from the punishment of the grave, punishment of the judgment, enter the morning to Jannah, grant their family sabr, so on and so forth. One last thing I just want to mention is it was interesting. Someone from the local community where that shooting happened. They wrote on a Facebook post on one of the local masjid's Facebook that this is your fault. The masjid saying you guys don't as in you guys don't involve the kids in. When it comes to issues of you don't do any activities for the kids. When the kids come to the masjid, they're kicked out. They kids will go running around this and obviously kids make noise right from young. And kicked out of the masjid, or the parents will control your child. If you're not control your child, don't come to the masjid. So on and so forth. There's a big distance between the masjid and the youth. And that's one of the things that I think it must have been apparent from within the community. But so let's touch upon that first and foremost. The issue of what needs to be done by masajid in order to get the youth to come into the masjid. But also this issue of what it is when something happens, everyone's ready to say to the masjid, this is your fault. You're not doing enough. But the sad reality is that when the masjid does want to do something, and they say, you know what, let's get some funding, or you know what, let's get some...
No,
The same person who is saying, you know what, this is you should be doing stuff, you don't want to put your hand into your pocket and take it out, you know, and help out with the masjid. I think it's a twofold thing, but who wants to go in on that
Can I
quickly
say
before we finish off?
On that quickly, yeah, I always talk about this with a lot of like the brothers who I'm around, that a lot of the masajids actually just open the masjid, pray, and then close the masjid. You see, the smallest of masjids are the ones that are doing the most khair, bringing everyone in, and you got these big masjids who billions of pounds have been spent for what? Just salah.
Well, that's true.
I'll be honest, I don't think there's any point talking about the masjids, because them men are not going to listen. We've been barking at them, begging them, saying, uncles, please open the masjid door for decades now.
Yeah,
they are not going to listen.
That masjid in was it Bedfordshire or was it Nottingham? The one where
Nottingham.
where
Yeah,
wrestling happened.
that's
Where
what
wrestling
I'm saying.
happened.
This is
That was sick.
That's what I'm saying now. So I'm saying this, but look, that brother is a brother who was like us. Yeah, he said, let me just start my own project. Do you understand? I'm saying trying to ask these messages that are already set up is all long. Do you understand? What needs to happen is that we just need to get active on our communities, man. And Allah will find a way for you. Like, alhamdulillah, look at us now. Yeah, we got 2 messages that are working with us now. Do you understand? We've got 2 messages that basically, because at the end of the day, look, yeah, akhi, we can say to the masjid, do whatever you want. They're not going to listen. You know why? Because they don't even know how to. They're all uncles. Alhamdulillah, the 2 masjids that we work with now, they say, listen, you man run it. They put their hands up and say, look, we don't know how to deal with these youth issues. You guys run it. Do you understand? So I think that's very important, man. But the reality of the matter is that masjids usually do have money. I don't think financial problem is financial.
Even ideas or someone to take.
That's not the
front.
issue. The problem is like the people should get funding. Really and truly, the people like us. Like we're the ones who are actually putting in the work. Do you understand? I mean, we work in some masjids that have got £200,000 in the safe and 2 million in their bank account, and they're not spending a penny of that. I'm saying all of the brothers, these men here are putting money from their own pocket for the project. Do you see what I'm saying? When we go out there and we say, listen, put some money in, people, put some money in so we can go do something. People would just, wallahi, man, they struggle to give it. Alhamdulillah, recently, people on my Instagram have been supporting a lot. And, we've been getting
The
food.
Umrah trip.
The Umrah trip. And we've been getting food for the youngers, every week. Like, we've got this new project called Mad Thing in the Masjid. Inshallah, it'd be nice if you all come, inshallah. This one's for brothers only. We're going to set up something for sisters soon. Brothers come and we talk about these real street issues. And after that, we just give everyone food. And people are the ones who are supporting that. Now, I'm saying, that's one of the ways we brought them into the masjid was the good food. Like, for me to ask people for money for food, people are telling me, uncles, whose kids are coming with me, yeah, who were telling me, take my kid because my kid's on Madison Road. Then the uncle's coming to me and say, oh man, this money really and truly, you should be spending it on Syria. Like, why are you taking this money, spending it on food? I'm like, your kid was burning weed and now he's here. Yeah, you don't even realise what you're putting your money to. I'm not saying belittle the cause of Syria. I'm saying at least when those people die, they're gonna go Jannah, inshallah. Your kids are walking on the verge of kufr, man. Do you understand? You got to be willing. I'm not saying give 100 here. I'm saying every man just give £10-20 each. So anyone that's willing to fund, that we need to be able to feed 100 kids, we need £250-300 every week. And this project is growing. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where we have 400-500 kids coming every week. So we're going to need over £1,000. Do you understand? So anyone who'll be willing, inshallah ta'ala, to contribute, then I'll put an email address below, inshallah ta'ala. And if you email that email address, it'll be nice, inshallah ta'ala, if you guys are willing to contribute.
Also, just to clarify, so Mad Thing in the masjid, where does it happen?
That happens in Masjid Noor, one of the very few masajid that have opened the doors. Allah barik. Listen, come, put the work in Acton.
What up your voice?
Huh?
What up your voice?
I got a sore throat.
Okay. So masjid is in Acton, yeah, Masjid Noor in Acton, and
Yeah.
so is it a weekly thing, monthly thing?
It's a weekly thing. It is 7:30 p.m. every Saturday. We have 2 reminders, right? Myself, other brothers, and what do you call it? And the thing is, we talk about things that are relevant: drugs, drug dealing, killing, murdering, music. We talk about things that are relevant to that to this problem right here. Do you understand? Because you can't be talking to these people about what? About hijab.
Yeah,
You understand? Because there's not the issue. Just what I'm saying.
So another question. So someone might be sitting there thinking, someone like people might have, like who are involved in masajid might be watching and stuff like that. Is it possible? Is it something which you're looking to branch out? Like if other masajid call you, can you do my thing in the masjid, not masjid, or right now?
Yeah, but not right now. Not right now. I mean, right now we have to focus locally. But I'm saying we're more than happy to sit down, have a meeting. Maybe we can't come, but we can get other brothers to come. You know, we're open to sitting down. Like, let's have a meeting now. Like before, it was we were always running around after these masajid, and they never wanted to help. I remember one masjid I used to work with. Yeah, one masjid, and I'm saying this now because I know there's some people that listen that might be working with masjids or whatever. There's one masjid that me, Guled, Saad, we all work with, we built a relationship with the youngest for 4 or 5 years, man. And the masjid banned me from coming there. Why? Shall I tell you why they banned me? They banned me from getting down. Just because the guys who were running the committee, they were losing control. That's literally all it was. They were losing control. The kids would come in. They brought me in. So give that out to the youth. They used to come to house, sleep over at the yard. And what they did, they just shut the project down. Right? Because they were losing control. They wanted to be the guys who were in control of everything. And now, those kids,
they're all finished, man. When I met one of them just a couple of months ago, and he just told me, he's like, everyone's gone. Everyone. This guy's doing this thing, this guy's going to prison, this guy's here. Only he was the only one that I found. Like, even him.
And even him, I don't know if he's praying or not. The point is, wallahi, man, that they mash it up. So if the masjid wants to do something, really what they should find a local student of knowledge, okay, to lead the project and just get some youngers and just open the door, man. Come have a meeting with us, because we're not going to chase after you. We're not arrogant. Come to Darus Salam. Come Masjid Nur. We'll sit down, have some tea, bring some Somali tea, inshallah. Huh?
Plan something out.
Yeah, plan something out. We don't want our name on the poster. We don't want you to bring. I'm saying we'll give you what you need. You want to raise money? We even set up an online fundraising campaign for you. You got to be Salafi though.
Let's just get active in it. That's the main thing. So let's end it there, inshallah. Finally, just one last point just to mention is obviously, recently because of all these killings and shootings and punishing Muslim Day and all of this stuff, people have been, like moving shook and scared, something might happen to me, this and that, and, like people more worried about death and this and that. At the end of the day, anyone can die at any time. You were talking about this before we started recording, is that, a lot of people now, it's become, death, people start to think more about death, but that should be the asl from day one. You should always be thinking about death and, treat every day as if it's your last, treat every salah as if it's your last. Don't think that, I'm going to live, for years and years and years, and, later on I'm going to repent, and so on and so forth. Just keep in mind that you could die any day. You could die straight after watching this. You can die within an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it may be. You don't know when you're going to die, so don't act as if you've got forever. So let's leave it there, inshallah, and we'll see you on the next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hey guys, I really hope that you benefited from that video. Before you go, I want to ask you a really important question. Have you guys ever thought about studying Islam and seeking knowledge? If not, then I want you to reflect upon this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet said that seeking knowledge is obligatory upon every single Muslim. Of course, that doesn't mean you have to be a scholar, but you have to know the basics in order for you to be the best possible slave and worshipper of Allah that you can possibly be. So we decided to provide a solution for this. You see, many people want to study, but they don't have the means or the resources to do so. So we set up an online institute called the Knowledge College, where you can study Islam from the comfort of your own home. So if you want more information on the Knowledge College and you'd like to sign up, go to the link below, check out the website, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum.